What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. This is Gold Pony Crypto. So I woke up this morning, saw it was 7 degrees outside, so I decided to go for a little drive, get outside a little bit because it was such nice weather, and film a crypto video for y'all. So today's video is going to be 5 lessons that I learned from investing in crypto in the year of 2021, since we are now in the year 2022. But first, let me start by going over how I actually got into crypto, because I actually got into crypto in the year 2020, and the way I got into it was kind of unconventional, which is probably the way a lot of people get into crypto these days. But so I work in social media. Obviously, I'm making YouTube videos, but it's not just this channel. Of course, I recently just started this channel. But anyways, a couple years back, I created an Instagram account. I had a Ford Mustang GT and decided to create a Ford Mustang fan account, I guess you could say. I built it from 0 followers up to 65,000 followers. And so at that point, I sold my Mustang because I then had to actually find a vehicle to actually get me to my job, because at the time I was working from home and then I actually had to drive to work. And so I needed to sell the rear-wheel drive car because the snow is out and it gets super cold here. But I did that, and with that I also sold the Instagram account. The way I did that was I used an escrow service based in the Netherlands, which kind of facilitated the transaction between the buyer and the seller, essentially helping me sell the account, and then they pay you in Bitcoin. And so I actually got paid approximately $900 worth of value in Bitcoin in the year 2020. And that is how I ended up getting into Bitcoin. But first I was like, what is this? And I probably should have known about it by then because of my background before that, because I actually ended up getting my degree in economics. And through that, I was definitely into monetary policy like crazy. I was definitely a anti-Fed guy. So I was part of the Ron Paul movement, just like Charles Hoskinson was. I remember him saying that from back in the day. So I'm not a fan essentially of what central banks have been doing to currencies across the world, inflating them like crazy. I know we have 7% inflation this year here in the US, and I know it's worse in other parts of the world. So either way, that's crazy. That shouldn't be that way, because back in the day, the dollar was fine because it essentially was backed by gold and silver. But with the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1971, that all went away. And a lot of people still don't know that the dollar at this point, since 1971, is no longer backed by anything. It's not backed by gold or silver. It's simply just pieces of paper backed by the faith that you have in it right now. So for whatever reason, the US and the rest of the world were to lose faith in the dollar, that dollar's value would go to essentially nothing. And by the way, did I mention no fiat currency has ever survived throughout the course of history? So in my mind, it's essentially just a matter of time before the dollar has kicked the bucket, unless the US comes up with some crazy idea to revive it. Let's say maybe a US backed digital currency, but it has to have scarcity. That's the other thing. And that's one of the primary properties of a good sound money, is the scarcity aspect, which Bitcoin has, being that only 21 million are ever going to be created. And of course, it's less than that if you take into account Satoshi's wallet that is not moved in forever. So, and by the way, nothing in this video should be considered financial advice. This is simply for education and entertainment purposes. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the number one thing that I learned in the 2021 year investing in crypto. And that first thing is going to be, without a doubt, don't try to time the market. DCA when you can, meaning dollar cost average, get in on the dips, but don't try to time the market. And I know in the back of my mind, if we end up having a blow off top this particular bull run, I may try to time that, but having said that, I'm not even going to pretend to act like I know the answer for when this top of the bull run is going to be. I can make an educated guess. If I were to do that, I would say probably mid to the end of March, just because of Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, is going to come out and start tapering bond yields at that time. And I think what's probably going to happen is that that original estimate is going to be perhaps doubled down on, and he's going to increase the rate of that tapering, which I think may be the case, but like I said, I have no idea. And the reason this is the first thing I learned, because what I have learned more than anything right now is the Bitcoin bull run doesn't necessarily take into account a bunch of different macro factors. Let's say the pandemic, it doesn't take into account for that. It doesn't take into account for market manipulation, which we have had more in this bull run than we ever had in the history. If you look back at the other charts, there's different tools you can actually use to kind of track this market manipulation. For example, there's a program called Market Cipher. If you see any yellow X's, that's going to be the manipulation. There's been a heck of a lot of that this year in this bull run. So definitely doesn't account for that. Also, it doesn't account for any increased regulation that were to happen. Let's say China banning Bitcoin mining, for example. And it also doesn't take into account any kind of central bank monetary policies, which could change at any given time, probably ending the bull run, in my opinion, for this particular run at least. And ultimately, you're going to be a lot happier when you're not trying to time the market and simply just DCAing and investing in projects that you actually believe in, because then ultimately when things do go back down, you're going to still feel confident that you're investing in a good project, and you're not going to feel like, oh, I invested in this project that's number 3,000 whatever in coin market cap, and it may indeed completely fail at this point. Next thing I learned in 2021 was simply to be patient. I think patient investors are probably going to come out on top the most when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency. I know when I first got into it, Bitcoin was around $29,000. When I first got into it, I saw the rush happening, so I was trying to get in as much as possible when things were this low, and I did. So Bitcoin was at $29,000. I know I was buying as much Ethereum as I possibly could at $1,000, and now you guys know it went up over $4,000. Of course, it pulled back just recently here, but I bought most of my Ethereum at $1,000. I think the most I ever paid for Ethereum was like $1,400. Definitely be patient, because one of the biggest criticisms of cryptocurrency, being that it's so volatile, can be one of the biggest advantages if you know how to work that to your advantage, at least. So wait for the dips, wait for the bear market, because those are going to be the most opportune buying opportunities really when it comes to any cryptocurrency at this point. In the meantime, typically what I do is I take a certain amount every single week, I put it into stable coins, and I hold it in those stable coins, especially when things are going up a lot. I'm holding it in those stable coins because what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the drop so I can then take those stable coins and then convert it to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Crow, whatever I want to end up doing there. Polkadot is another one, or VVS Finance, let's say. Number 3 thing I learned in 2021 is to stake it all. Definitely, whatever you are into, whatever coin you are into, there's plenty of good staking programs out there. One of the best is through the Crypto.com app. That is what I use, and I do also use the VVS Finance platform, because they can give you over 200%, over 400% when I first started staking VVS. So that's another one I'm in as well, but Crypto.com is definitely an excellent staking platform. Right now, I'm earning 6.5% on Ethereum, on Bitcoin. I'm earning 6% on Crow. When I staked for the Jade Green card, I'm earning 10% on that Crow. You can actually earn up to 14.5% on Polkadot. You can earn up to 14% on stable coins within that Crypto.com app as well. So definitely I would recommend staking it. The alternative, of course, is just buying the crypto and letting it sit there. So you might as well put it to work for you and earn some extra crypto while you're at it. So I would definitely 100% recommend staking whichever cryptos that you have. And again, Crypto.com is an excellent platform to do that with. Number 4 thing I learned, and I think you guys probably saw this one coming, is use that Crypto.com card as often as humanly possible. And so I think you guys may have seen one of my previous videos. I earned, I think it was 1,925 Crow throughout the course of 2021. Really, that was about for, I think, 8 or 10 months by using the card. That is a good bit. If you take into account Crow got up to $1, that's $1,925. If you just take it at its current price, which is around 50 cents, that's what, like $950 that I earned there. So that is definitely impressive. And it's one of those things, you're going to be spending money on credit cards and debit cards anyways. You might as well forward and top up your crypto card so you can earn all of those rewards back in Crow. Because right now with the Jade Green card, I'm earning 3% back, with a caveat that I still haven't received that Jade Green card to date, but I was earning 2% back with the Ruby card. But the Jade Green card is going to give me 3% back on all of my purchases. And then for any of you who wanted the update, I ordered that card on November 25th. Still waiting for it. It is January 8th today, so hopefully it comes soon. And by the way, if you did want to sign up for one of those Crypto.com Visa Metal cards, I will put my referral link at the bottom. That's actually going to give you a free $25 in Crow when you go to sign up. It's also going to give me a free $25 so you can support the channel, but you might as well use it, because the alternative is you're going to get absolutely nothing when you sign up if you don't use it. So I'll put it at the bottom of the screen and in the description box below for you. The last little tip or lesson that I learned in 2021 investing in crypto was look at the big picture. The famous saying is, when in doubt, zoom out. And so I get in the comment section below, Crow's lost 30% in value. It's down to 46 cents right now at the time of making this video, at least. And I'm thinking to myself, Well, yeah, but I bought most of my Crow at 5 cents, so I'm still up at, what, 9 or 10x at that point. So that's zooming out, and then keep in mind the big picture. Crypto.com has been doing a lot of marketing lately. They bought the naming rights for the Staples Center. They got Matt Damon in the commercials. They're doing all kinds of advertising right now. So ultimately, when the next bull run comes around, maybe Crow's going to be up to $10. Again, not financial advice, but it's very possible that it could be a heck of a lot more valuable than it currently is right now. So don't get so much caught up in the daily price fluctuations. Definitely look at the big picture. And I guess that kind of depends on how long you plan on being in crypto. If you plan on being in it for just a short-term gain, or maybe just this bull run in particular, which I don't. I plan on being in it for quite a long time because I believe in it at this point, because it is not run by any central government. It's run by the people. I do believe it has the potential to be possibly a reserve currency, maybe replacing the dollar, because I think a lot of countries would actually go for that, because again, it's not run by any particular country, so it doesn't give that power factor to any particular country. I think a lot more countries may be more inclined to go with a Bitcoin reserve currency because, like I said, it's not run by any particular country. But so in the end, ultimately, if I were to give you my actual opinion on what is going to happen for the rest of this bull run, I do think there may be one more all-time high. I could be dead wrong on that, but I do think there might be one more all-time high before March hits, and I think March is probably going to be the end of that bull run, because I think Jerome Powell with the Fed is definitely going to kind of increase that tapering of the bond yields quite substantially, more so than what he originally advertised, I'll put it that way. But time will tell, and I guess we'll find out. But anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at the bottom of the screen if you want to see different cryptocurrency updates on Crow and Crypto.com and Kronos at any given time. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into Crypto.com, Crow, and Kronos, because that is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.